Hi, I'm Molly and I'm reading now, apparently. Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about a topic I never thought I would put on this channel, and that is books. I used to be such a reader in middle school and high school, and I decided I wanted to get back into it as a resolution for this year. At first I really just wanted to make it really slow and just read one book a month, but then I decided to amp it up a bit. Already this month I've read 2 books. I've read Paper Towns, which you could probably tell by the title of this video, and I've read Yes Please from Amy Poehler. Now I thought that I would kind of try and do book reviewing in the I'm talking now kind of way. The whole reason I started this channel was to create a community which I can talk to and get recommendations from and bounce off ideas, and create a community that I'm not afraid to kind of, talk about whatever I want with people. So hopefully some of you will jump on this bandwagon. So first I'm going to be reviewing Paper Towns by John Green, and then towards the end of the video, I will be kind of talking about a possible book club idea. That's the whole reason I created this channel, was to create a community and create a conversation and learn about things I never would have found out on my own otherwise. So I really want to make that happen. It might take a while to build up an audience, but I'm willing to go through with it. So this week I read Paper Towns from John Green, and I kind of enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I was pretty neutral about it. And basically what it is, it's about a guy named Q and how he used to be friends with this girl Margot, his neighbor, and one day they find a dead body and then they get kind of scared and they tell their parents, and she freaks out and starts investigating, and she becomes really interested in investigation and clues and stuff like that. And then they stop being friends shortly after, and in their last year of high school she comes up to his window and says, "I need you to come with me on an adventure." And they go on this adventure and they do all these crazy kind of pranks and stuff against the people who have wronged her. And when that night is over, he says, "I wonder how she's going to react at school. I hope that we can maybe be together romantically, or we can, eat lunch together," these kinds of things. And she doesn't come back. So then they spend the last few weeks of their senior year of high school looking for her. And as they're looking through clues that she's left, they find out more about her and things that they never knew about her, mostly because they never asked. So if I were to give this book a review on Goodreads, which I will leave links down below to my Goodreads account and of the book club, I would give this about a 3 out of 5 for a couple of reasons. I really enjoyed reading it. I thought the story was great. I didn't want to put it down. But the reason that I deducted 2 stars was because I just couldn't relate to the characters. And I find that with other books that John Green has written. I cannot relate to these characters. John Green's characters tend to have a similar background where they usually come from a pretty good life, and they don't really face that many hardships, not like real ones. They're very well read and they're very spoiled. I could not bring myself to like Margot because of that. As a person who lived in Florida and wanted to get the hell out of there, I could totally relate to that. What I could not relate to is running away. Her parents weren't that horrible. Well, it didn't seem as bad as my friends that had really hard lives at home, and it was nothing compared to that. And she just seemed kind of spoiled to me. The other characters I really liked. I felt that the other characters were very real people. Even though they might not have been as spoiled as Margot, they were still very likable, and I liked them because they were real people. They seemed like people that I knew in high school. So to summarize what I just said, I found Margot a bit too spoiled. I could not relate to her. I don't see why she would run away. She seemed to have a pretty good life. She had a car, she was in school, she was about to graduate. It seemed very spoiled and a bit bratty. So I couldn't grow to like her at all. I really didn't like her as a character. The other characters were pretty likable. They were very real people. I feel like I knew people like this, and I went to high school with people like this, and that realness aspect I really liked. And it was nice to read Q's thoughts and how he perceived some things as opposed to the things he himself was saying. I feel like those are always characteristics in John Green books. I felt that also with Looking for Alaska and Abundance of Catherines. The characters, what they said I didn't always really like, but what they thought and how they felt I could always relate to. And I did really like the mystery aspect. I love a good mystery story. I love a good chase. So that was really nice to find more clues. There could have been 10 more clues as far as I was concerned. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I also really liked how the book brought up a few points about how people interact with one another, and I'm going to share a quote with you that I think is the best way to describe this. Rainbow wheel. And the quote is from the character I mentioned earlier called Radar, and the quote is, "You keep expecting people not to be themselves." And this is something I had always had in the back of my mind and thought about, but I never knew how to express it into words, so that's one of the reasons I really liked that part of the book. "I could hate you for being massively unpunctual and for never being interested in anything other than Margot Roth Spiegelman, and for like never asking me about how it's going with my girlfriend." I really related to this because I feel like this is something I myself do too much, where I have this expectation of people and I really should be, like it says, expecting people to be themselves instead of the other way around. So that was a really great takeaway that I had from the book. And with that whole expecting and expectations of people that was constantly mentioned in the book, it reminded me a lot of the videos going around YouTube regarding the YouTube culture and how, you know, you shouldn't put someone on a pedestal just because they seem like this great person. So I think I'm glad I read this book at such a random time that I could relate it back to what's going on in my world right now. I can't remember the exact quote. I didn't mark it in my ebook, but they also mention how people are mirrors and these great things, and I'll have quotes to that on my Goodreads. So that was my review on Paper Towns. Hopefully that made sense. I'm super new to this, but that's that. I'm gonna do a change of frame here. Why is that noise happening? Oh my god. Really right now? Really? So as I mentioned earlier, I have a New Year's resolution to read more. So I went kind of nuts last night and got all these books, which you probably can't see because it's way too bright. Okay, better. And I picked out a ton of books, which I'll be showing you in close-ups. And that is The Virgin Suicide, Bridget Jones' Diary, Pride and Prejudice, Great Gatsby, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, The Knife of Never Letting Go, Landline, The Cuckoo's Calling, Fangirl, Attachments, and One More Thing. So I want to start a little I'm Reading Now book club. Whether people join or not, I think it's a very fun thing for myself to do and to look forward to, and hopefully people will join. But anyways, as a part of my New Year's resolution, I want to read more, and I could not decide which of, I think it's like 8 books I downloaded to read, and I've just put them on little pieces of paper in this cute little bag. So the next book in the I'm Reading Now book club is... Yes! I really wanted to read this one. I'm going to read Landline, and basically what it is, she's kind of a workaholic, and for Christmas she has to work, and her family leaves without her to visit family, and she picks up the phone to call him, and she she calls him in the past, and she tries to like save her marriage. And to me, this is so relevant. This just seems like such a good book, and I'm so excited to read this. So hopefully you guys will join me. To those few of you that are watching, if you want to join my book club, that would be really cool. I'm gonna get started right now. I've been waiting all day to film this so I could start reading. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm done talking. She's really cool. If you don't watch her, check her out. Hopefully one day we could collab. But until that day, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. The 3 words